Good morning. So we're here in Manchester, it's raining, so there's only one thing to do. That means get inside, do some fun games, and do some tests. So in today's video, I'm going to test the difference between my current driver, so the F9 Speedback 10.5 degree hazardous smoke shaft, and one of the big boys on the market from this year, the Epic Flash Driver. Huge price tag, over £100 more. Does it actually give you anything different to what my current driver has? Let's find out, and let's actually see what happens between the Cobra and the Epic Flash Driver of 2019. For me, these are probably two of the leading drivers this year. One was at 350, one was at 450 in terms of price bracket, but does the smaller one have a better bang for its buck? Let's find out now. So how we're going to do this is 5 drives each. You're going to see what one has the best average over the 5 drives, and ultimately just see which one's the longest. They've both got the same shaft in it. They've both got the same loft. So ultimately they are pretty much the same club with different manufacturers. Now I know that different shafts will play differently with different clubs and different heads and different technology, but I've tried to make these two as close as I can to each other with the shafts we've got here. So it's going to be the fairest test we can, 5 drives each. Let's find out which one comes out on top. Don't forget guys, if you are a brand new viewer, smash that subscribe button. As well as doing that, if you're already a subscriber, press that bell notification too. Let's get straight into today's video. So first up, we're going to go for the F9 Speedback driver. This is the one that I'm currently gaming and absolutely love this year. It's going to take a lot to beat this, I think. So really interesting to see which one has the best average carry between this and the Epic Flash. Like I say, in my eyes, these two are probably the big heavyweights in this year. In terms of technology for the price, this one, in terms of what it says it should do, the Epic Flash, okay? I know there's other big drivers out there, and we will do other reviews between the TS3, TS5, and all the other Titleist drivers, as well as the tailor-made ones too. But today all we're on about is the Cobra versus the Epic Flash. Okay, so ball number 1, let's have a look. Absolutely smoked. 263 straight off the gun. Pretty good. Remember, we're just on for average carry. I'll be tired by the end of this. Right. Good smash as well. I'm actually pretty happy with the first shot there. We will take into account a little bit of kind of dispersion as well. You can see on the right half of the screen there. I think that's an important thing. We're not just always after distance, we are after for the whole package. So looking at this side of the screen on the right is really important too. But again, this test is just purely which one is longer for me. Looks good. 266 again. Very consistent. Now, another thing I'm going to put up there as well, I think will be really interesting to see, because this F9 Speedback was all about club head speed. What it kind of had in the design, the way we've got this area here on the bottom of the driver, was all about extra club head speed. So it'll be interesting to see, as well as how far it goes, which one had the best club head speed. So, average so far at the minute on those 2 shots is 109.5 my club head speed. Early in the morning, but I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so 266.9 is my average distance. Ball number 3 coming up. Yeah, pretty good. 256. Oh, a little bit spinny that one felt. Can't get any further. So still pretty consistent. Pretty happy with that. Right. Ball number 4. That felt good. Oh, low and left. What do I know? Okay, one more on this side of things. So 256 is my average carry so far. Right, got one more better than that in me. Come on. That felt good. 266.9. Again, I'm pretty happy with that. My club of speed getting a little bit better as I get warmed into it. Overall, so far, I'm at 258.8 is my average carry, and 110.3 is my average clubhead speed. So they're the two numbers we're looking at. I know at the start of the test we kind of went into it saying which is the longest, and that will be the overall kind of picture, but it'll be really interesting to see, does the Speedback actually give me more clubhead speed than the Epic Flash, or is the Epic Flash a little bit more on top? So far, 258.8 to beat. Let's now head into the second part of the test and all about the Epic Flash Driver. Remember, this spec is as close as I can to my own, so it'll be really interesting to see the difference in this. So we've seen my average carry with my Cobra F9 Speedback. That was 258.8. So let's have a look at what the total was. So I'm pretty happy with this. 287.6 is my total driving distance. Average of 283.5. Again, these are pretty good numbers. I'm pretty happy with them. For me, I'm not something I would be upset about. I think that's a good distance for me who doesn't play a lot, so I'm really happy with that. So that's my total, this is my carry, but remember, we're all about this number today. We're all about which one carries the furthest, and we're going to have a look at a little bit of clubhead speed as well, because I think that would be really interesting to look at. So now time to hit some with the Epic Flash. Remember, this is set up as close as I can to my current spec. So it'll be really interesting to see which comes out on top. That's a good shot. 268, 110 clubhead speed. So first one out there. Pretty good shot. Ah, healed. Okay, it's alright, it's probably what happened on the golf course. That's something that I do. So average still at 260, so I'm roughly about 2 yards, a little bit further with this one so far, 2 shots in. Shot number 3 now. Clubhead speed very similar, which you would kind of expect, I guess. That's it, good that. 261. Pretty good shots. Okay, this one's a little bit further right now. So 2 shots left. .266. Bloody hell, you could throw a blanket over them. And final one. So far this one's actually going a little bit further than what I'm currently gaming, but about 3 yards. A little bit of that could be because I'm warmed up a little bit more. I was hitting right at the bottom. Shocker. Okay, so 5 balls in, 258.4. I mean, I hit a bit of a bad one there to finish, but overall, I mean, if we have a look at the screen here, that was pretty damn good, those 3 hit there. One off the heel, one off the bottom, which didn't quite get. Let's have a look at the numbers on the table now, and let's have a look at which one has come out on top. For me, I think there's pretty much the same here. I hit 1 bad one in each of them, 3 pretty good ones. So, I mean, it's pretty fair overall. If I show you all these, we can see here that the Epic Flash is the yellow, the Cobra is the white. We can see I hit 3 pretty good ones in each and 1 left, 1 right. So overall, they're very, very similar in terms of how I hit them. So actually, I did a pretty fair test. So let's have a look at all the numbers on the screen. So if we pull up the table. So Epic Flash, average clubhead speed was 110.7. The average clubhead speed with my Cobra was 110.3. Look at this. So my average smash was 1.48 with my F9 and 1.47 with the Epic Flash. 258.4 was my average carry with the Epic Flash, and 258.8 was my average carry with my F9. So pretty much all the same. Now that's really interesting because I actually swung it faster with the Epic Flash than I did with my own current driver, but I hit it a little bit further overall. And if you have a look at all the carries here, I mean, pretty much the same. I threw in one shorter one on both of them, a 2.3.9 and a 2.43.5, but then I threw in a 2.63, 2.66, 2.56 and 2.66. So overall, this F9 has just sneaked it by 0.4. But to kind of summarise that, they both performed very, very good. But remember, the Epic Flash is a lot more expensive than the F9. So looking at these numbers here, we're going to start with club head speed. 110.7 with the Epic Flash, 110.3 with my current driver. That's really interesting, that, because this was all about, the F9 was all about extra club head speed. And then if we look at smash factor, 1.47, 1.48, so the F9 was a little bit more bang for its buck by 1.1. But overall, the distance we were looking at, by 0.4, the F9 came out on top. And just to kind of show you that it was a fair test, I didn't do anything to like kind of make the numbers up and make, because I'm gaining this one come out on top. I threw in a short one with each of them, a 2.3.9 and a 2.4.3.5, which is really interesting because I hit basically two bad ones. But then I also threw in some pretty consistent ones there with the Cobra, and then some pretty, again, consistent ones with the Epic Flash. First one I hit with the Epic Flash was interestingly my furthest one, so my longest one, and then I threw some in there that was a higher club head speed, but didn't go as far. So overall, I swung the Epic Flash faster, but the F9 went longer overall by 0.8. So pretty much the same. We're going to say they've pretty much gone the same distance. Again, a very similar test. If we look at how far they all went on the screen, again, 3 good ones with the Epic Flash, 3 good ones with the Cobra, 1 left, 1 right. Very, very similar, which is pretty much my driving game. I'm kind of susceptible to 1 left and 1 right. So overall, pretty happy with the overall test. Finishing conclusion is my current driver is 0.4 longer. Massive, massive one there for you guys. But overall distance to final total, the Epic Flash was 290, my current driver was 283.5, so we're going to say 7 yards difference between. So the Epic Flash on total came out on top, but remember, we were looking at carry today a bit, which one carried the furthest. So I'm not going to lie, it's probably a bit of an anticlimax to that test, in a sense that I thought one was going to be a lot better than the other. Now, just to summarise what we've seen there, we've seen the data on the screen. Overall, my driver, my Cobra F9, was 0.4 longer, so 0.4. We're going to say it's exactly the same yardage. Interestingly, I actually had my longest drive with the Epic Flash. I actually then had my highest club head speed with the Epic Flash. But overall, in terms of performance, in terms of average, which is what we were looking at, the Cobra F9 came out on top.